Welcome back to another episode of the Bad Dad Vice podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Physical Education, Jacksonville's best facility for personalized strength and conditioning programs. Over at PE Gym, their personal trainers work to improve your overall strength, mobility, speed, and explosiveness with tailored workouts to make sure every client gets the exact training they need to reach their goals. Visit www.phys-ed-jax.com for more details and to book your first appointment today.
You biffed it.
I got a little giggly in the beginning.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry.
Come on, no giggles.
Sorry.
Just an ad read,
Sorry.
bro.
I still get. You know what's funny? What are we? 13 in.
This is 13.
I guess 11 for me. I get it, guys. I missed a couple. I still get the butterflies when I do this sometimes.
Like you can't.
I'm not gonna lie.
Can feel in your plums.
Nobody watches. Like nobody listens. But I get nervous.
Well, that's actually not true. We have 10,000 views on YouTube.
Yeah, so people are seeing it.
That's impressive. That's a
10,000
lot.
views.
We're pretty good. And what? And that's what. So I know it's like shorts and all that other stuff, but like we're averaging 1,000 an episode. That's pretty good.
You're like 10,000 views, and then on TikTok we got maybe 20 or 30ish, something like that. 20,000.
1,000?
Yeah, something like that.
20 or 30,000. Yeah. On
Yeah.
TikTok.
Really? Wow. I gotta get a TikTok.
We are also reaching
And Instagram. Yeah.
I think after this week's episode drops, we're probably going to break 500 total audio downloads.
Yeah. So we're getting downloads.
Let's go.
We got TikTok. We got Insta. We got YouTube. We got the podcast.
What about followers and subscribers? How are we looking there?
YouTube. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I mean, let's be real. There's only 30 on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
We're pretty infinitesimal.
We're like almost.
Yeah.
We're Mr. Beast. We're gonna catch you. You better watch out, Mr. Beast. You got them chocolate bars.
I did also look on YouTube, and I saw that 14% of our viewers are female.
That's unacceptable.
What the
What?
fuck?
Seems way too high.
That seems
way
a little
too many.
ridiculous.
Dad, you gotta
Well,
fix
it's like
that. You gotta
I'll
fix
tell you
Yeah.
this.
Daddies, help us out.
We know it ain't my wife, so I don't know about you guys, but
Right, yeah.
My wife ain't watching.
My wife doesn't watch it. She just sees all the clips. And then I get yelled at for not even saying
She knows
anything.
just enough to yell at you every day.
Yeah. I'm not even the one who says it. And I'm the one getting in trouble for it.
That's the worst part because those are like the
Because I didn't defend her.
most clickbaity things of all the episodes. So it's just enough to get you yelled at every single day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, perfect.
It's brutal.
So today, this episode, we are going to be diving into a pretty important topic. We're going all in on daycares. Everything about when to start looking, things to look for, researched them all. We're going to get into all the good stuff. But we're going to start off with some updates. Anybody got some good ones?
I mean, I'll start it off.
You want to start
Started off hot.
Yeah, so
you're still here. We're
So
glad
yeah,
to see that.
still here as of right now. Had a little scare over the weekend.
Just a little.
Yeah, so Emily's blood pressure kind of skyrocketed, and it was at like an unsafe range. Plus, her feet are starting to swell up really bad. And we were actually over at your house watching football, and she started getting like not blurry vision, but like like you stand up too fast if you're like iron deficient, and you kind of get lightheaded, and you're like, whoa,
Tunnel vision.
She kind of had like that, and it happened like 4 or 5 times throughout the course of the day. And so we called like an on-call nurse and told them what was going on. They're like, yeah, you probably need to go over to the ER. So we went, got to the ER, thought we were just going to be there for a couple hours. They were going to check her blood pressure. Everything was going to settle back down, whatever. We're there for like 3 hours, basically doing nothing, just sitting there. And then a nurse finally walks back in again. Like they were checking on her the whole time. Like, oh, how you feeling? How you feeling? They finally walk back in and say, we talked to the doctor, and they want to monitor you for 24 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'm like,
No football for you.
oh, no, I watch football.
Oh, you bet your ass.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you bet your ass I watch
And,
football.
we watched it.
and because we just had an episode about preparedness and your bag and what to bring, and God forbid, don't forget a pillow. And what happened?
So I didn't forget the pillow. So we brought her bag on the off chance that something would happen, because there was talk that like, hey, if your blood pressure doesn't settle back down, like we're going to have to do an emergency C-section and like get the kids out so that it's safe for mom and for babies. I didn't forget the pillow. I just didn't bring it with me.
So you left it at home on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what
It's a pretty bad move.
Yep.
Well, so the thing was like when we were leaving, I was in such a rush to make sure that like I had her stuff. I knew I didn't bring any of my stuff. So I was like, one way or another, I'm going back home.
So you were completely unprepared and didn't listen to anything that we talked about on the prior episode.
Correct.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't bring any of my stuff. I brought all of her stuff. So like if we would have had to be there for a couple days, but I did have everything packed and pillows like sitting on the bed because I knew that once we told her parents that we were in the hospital, there was not a doubt in my mind that they weren't coming down.
Yeah.
Like they were an hour away. There wasn't a doubt in my mind that they weren't coming.
Right. Why do it yourself when you could have someone
Exactly.
else do it
I was
for you?
going to have them pick it up. Like I was just going to call them and say, "Hey, I got a bag and I got 6 pillows sitting right there. Can you guys grab it?" Cuz somebody also had to check on the dog because
box of Twinkies.
those are inside the bag.
You bring
I brought those. I meant to make sure to bring
those are inside of her
so
bag.
you brought the snacks. You just not the pillow.
I had snacks, no pillow.
And so
Priorities.
I'll tell you what.
Priorities.
When we talked about like how bad that bed is,
Saltine cracker.
that couldn't have been more of an understatement of how bad it is.
You're now prepared.
You can't sleep on that.
Let me tell you something though. I saw, Emily sent us the picture of your bed. It looked like a motherfucking king size master suite bed compared to the one that I was like the hospital that I was at. It was literally the couch and then basically like the backrest.
Talking to the mic.
The backrest like folds down. It's still like the width of just a normal couch.
Yeah.
Yours looked like it folded out like it was like a
So
double.
it was like a pull out,
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah, this
it
one.
was like sleeping on a sheet of plywood.
Also, you had a footrest and a headrest, which I would have loved the headrest. Would have hated the footrest because I would not have fit. That would have been
Yeah, I didn't fit either.
very yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Way
trying
too
to
tall.
s-
Way
yeah.
too
tall.
But yeah, the headrest, because one of my biggest problems with the seat, the whatever it is, couch bed that comes down is only the width of the couch. No headrest, so my pillow would fall off.
Yeah.
Right, and you can't do anything. Like you don't realize how much you need a headrest till you're missing one.
Yeah.
So that was a major bummer. But now you know that's the room. So now you've scoped the room out. Right,
Yep.
it's the same room. no
Yeah,
matter
it'll
what.
be it'll be the same
That's-
hospital
that's
that we were
clutch.
at.
That's
But
clutch.
it definitely the bed was extremely uncomfortable. Like couldn't sleep. Plus, I mean, it doesn't help too that like we were there for being monitored for 24 hours. So like literally every hour and a half to 2 hours, the nurses were coming in to check her blood pressure,
That's
make
what they
sure
do.
she was okay.
They picked the
Oh,
worst
that's like
time.
that's
That's
like
what they
even.
do.
They picked the worst times to come in. Like I remember we had
jeez.
when Kennedy was born, it was like, okay, mom, that was pretty traumatic. So you like get some rest, and that's at like 11 o'clock, and then like the nurse will come in and check on you. It's like 2:30 in the morning. The nurse
Yeah.
comes in. I'm like you just told us to like get some rest, and you're coming in.
Yeah,
at,
like how am I supposed to do that?
at rest time. Can
And
you
then-
come in at not rest time?
And then
Yeah.
in the morning, everybody has to do their rounds. So like you'll get like, the doctor and the fertility lady or whatever. What's the lactation?
there's so many
lactation
people.
specialist.
It's like the lactation people.
And all of
The-
them start their day. They work 9 to 5s, so
Yeah.
they all get in around the same time. So they all want to just back to back you. So it's like
Yeah.
it's 6 a.m. and all you want to do is sleep. And it's like, okay, I just got done with a lactation specialist, and I'm laying down and I'm closing my eyes, and the doctor comes in, and then I'm laying down, and then the nurse comes in, and then I'm laying down, and then you want breakfast, not you, her.
Yeah, and they definitely do not care about the dads.
Did you ask about the George Foreman?
Oh, I should have while I was there. I didn't even honestly. I didn't even think about it. I was more of the mindset of we ain't having these fucking kids yet.
Well, be careful because
Yeah, well, I was
Plug them suckers
trying
back
to
in.
I was trying to speak it into existence, but I should have asked about that. I didn't even think about it. But no, it was like pulling freaking teeth to get a friggin' napkin to cover my legs at night.
Yeah.
Because the room is also 15 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's another
we
thing.
had that.
Like we talked about it, but I tried to tell you how important it was for the thickest blankets that you can get, because we can get you blankets, but those blankets in the hospital are dog shit.
I mean, you can see
Yeah.
through them
Yeah.
basically. And you
Yeah.
got that
Yeah.
blue and white one looking like Mother Teresa on that bed.
I think I stayed in like pajama pants and a hoodie the whole time I was in the hospital.
Yeah, like I actually went when we got back home on it was like late Monday night. We finally went back home. It was like 11:30, which like normally I guess they don't typically discharge people from the hospital after a certain time. But the doctor came in and was like, hey, she's all good. Let her go home, get some rest. Because we also had a doctor's appointment the next morning at 9:30. Yeah. So
All right, we're going to go home. We'll be right back.
Yeah, the same people. I was like, shouldn't we just sleep here and just walk next door?
Yeah, I'm not looking
And Emily
forward
was
to
like,
all
I'm not
these-
sleeping on this.
I'm not looking forward to all these appointments like back to back at the very end. Like that's going to be stressful.
Yeah, and it's even more for us because with the whole IVF thing, we're already considered high risk just from going through IVF. And then it's even more high risk because it's twins. So like we're seeing a high risk OB and then also her normal OB. So it's like literally we have 2 appointments a week.
And it's like even
risk, high
more high
reward.
risk. It's even more high risk because like you're kind of an idiot.
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No.
The guy knows.
No,
what
that's
he's
exciting
doing.
though. That was a great trial run.
Yeah, it was when we got home we both said the same thing, like, man, it was really good to actually have like almost like a test run, like were we good to go, and we were not.
I feel like more hospitals should do that, like a practice emergent,
Like a baby fire drill?
kind of like a baby fire drill. I mean, the schools do it. I mean, I do.
Well,
we do a fire drill every month. It's
Yeah.
like ridiculous.
So
hide under the desk. The baby's coming.
we were
No,
we
you
were
can't hide
trying
under the desk in a fire.
we were
Get
trying to
out.
actually get
Tornado
a tour so that we could see, hey, let me see what the bed situation's like. Like I would have pulled the bed out and laid on it to see what all I needed.
Where's the food court? That's the only tour you needed. Big
Oh yeah, and so again, they bring her all her meals, like her meals or whatever. They tell me, they're like, oh yeah, there's a nutrition center literally right across the hall. So I was like, "Pfft, perfect. They're like, yeah, we got little snacks in there. You know, there's ginger ales, waters, whatever
vending
you
machine.
want.
It's a vending machine.
It's not a vending machine, but there was there was a box of crackers, empty. So there was no crackers.
Well, everybody's sleeping on those.
Yeah, everyone's sleeping on
The
them.
beds.
Yeah. And then they were like, oh, yeah, there's Jellos in the fridge. I open up the fridge. There's a Jello. I'm like, lady.
So you had no crackers.
You
one
crushed
Jell-O.
that Jello, didn't you?
You ate it.
Yeah.
What color was it? What color was it?
Red.
Oh yeah,
Red's the worst one.
I know.
Red's the worst
I
jello.
love
Yeah,
a red
it was very okay. And it was, I'm just not a big Jello fan in general, but like I was hungry.
I was envisioning green for some reason. I don't know why when you said it.
Now, red seems very
Green
hospital
is the best
Jell-O.
jello.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like red tastes
yeah.
like fake, right? Like
It-
red Jello.
Yeah, it tastes like,
fake.
It's like-
tastes,
it's like
it tastes
artificial
like
cherry. It's
cough
like
medicine.
gross.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, it was like
That's gross.
it was like very cough medicine-y. But yeah, it was good to have like a little trial run. You know, they said be ready anytime in the next 2 weeks. So now that we've had this appointment, we have to like check her blood pressure once in the morning, once in the afternoon. If it spikes too high, we got to go in again.
Well, yeah.
So-
That's important. But what we learned from that is bank some episodes. That's
Yeah,
really
oh, yeah.
important.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How did you know? Is she checking her blood pressure daily? Is that like at home?
The only reason we checked her blood pressure, we actually have like a blood pressure machine. The only reason we checked it is because her feet swole up really bad, and she hasn't had any swelling in her feet yet. And typically, I guess by this time, what the hell do I know? But like, I guess typically by this time, like the women's feet have already started to swell. But the big thing was like she had that like weird like blurry vision kind of thing, and as soon as we called the doctor, they said, check your blood pressure. If it's over 140 over 90, go in. And we have this like stupid little wrist cuff thing that every doctor ever has told us don't use that. Emily's dad swears by it. He's like, no, they don't know what they're talking about.
You know what? I believe Ray. That guy knows some shit.
He does know a lot.
That guy knows some
He
shit.
does know.
I believe him.
It's insane. Like he knows a little bit about everything.
If he told me to
It's
trust
crazy.
it, I would trust it for sure.
It's funny that we're doing this podcast with like bad dad advice because you're about to get so much advice from
everybody.
Like everybody's gonna go, just put a little whiskey behind their ears and they'll fall right asleep. And you're like, shut the fuck up, cashier at Publix.
Yeah,
Jesus.
right.
Everybody
give me my
gives advice.
damn food.
Dude,
Yeah.
so many people give
Just ring me
advice,
up.
and it's like,
Just ring me up.
and it's like you like every time someone gives me advice, I go like, that's a great idea. I should do that. And then I get in the car, I'm like, what the fuck? are
Thanks,
they even
Thomas
talking-
Rhett.
It's like Thomas Rhett. You don't know anything. Just keep singing
Just
songs.
breathe, dude.
Thomas
Just
Rhett.
breathe.
Thanks, dude.
Well, anybody else have any significant updates before we get into the core?
Yeah, so Janie and I actually just got memberships to the Jacksonville Zoo. We are zoo members now, and basically an annual pass to the zoo, so we can go whenever we want. So If any of you guys ever want to go to the zoo,
Love the zoo.
Do you
Take
get
a
like
little-
discounts if?
I get discounted like guest tickets.
Shout out Jacksonville Zoo.
Yeah.
It's a great zoo.
I've never been.
Big underrated zoo.
Oh
Oh, it's a great zoo.
Never been.
Let me tell you something. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Really?
It's fucking huge. We went there. We were there for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours. I did almost 10,000 steps. Like over 4 miles. It was crazy.
It's like just big enough to like you can do it in a really long day, like one full day. Like you can do it all, but it's like every bit of a full day if you want to like do every single exhibit,
yeah,
do
for
all the
sure.
stuff. Yeah.
Have you gone when they have it decorated for Halloween?
They do have like Halloween stuff up
Yeah.
now. And it looks like, I thought it was going to be like a Disney kind of Halloween where it's like not scary, fun for kids. Like it's the zoo. But they had like big ass scary monster things out there. It looks
you're
scary.
scared kind of.
You get scared.
Oh,
easy.
if it was nighttime, I would be scared, bro. It was like,
Yeah.
like I was looking at the decorations in the daytime. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I was looking at the decorations. I was like, bro, if the sun was down, this junk would be scary.
They'd also do Christmas, right? They do lights during Christmas.
Yeah, they do a little
yeah.
something. But Halloween is the big one. Everybody loves going out there at night because then, the animals are kind of all out and about. It's cooler.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is not from here. So during the day, a lot of things are sleeping. And so when you get to night, you start hearing everything around you. It makes it a little spooky.
The one thing I will say is, so like we did SeaWorld, we did the zoo. She was way more interested at SeaWorld, and I think part of it is even like you're just looking at a fish tank. So the fish are right there. I mean, it's a tiny tank. When you're out there, the elephant might be on the other side of the elephant pen, right? And
Yeah.
so babies already don't have supervision. So like she's not looking, if it's 100 yards away, she doesn't even, I don't think she realizes like what it is over there. You know what I mean? And so so that was part of it too. It's like your timing has to be good. You got to catch these animals at the right time. But like the giraffes, like people feed the giraffes, so they're like right there. So she was pretty interested in that. The gorillas kind of hang out right by the glass and stuff. She was pretty interested in that.
And only got a tiger that's like walks over you, right? Don't
Oh
they
yeah.
That thing's wild.
He wasn't up there, but the tiger, yeah, it's crazy.
I really need to go to the zoo.
You see these?
fun.
No,
It's a lot of
they
fun.
have all and this is like a legit zoo. Like I saw rhinos, flamingos, elephants, giraffes, tigers, jaguars,
Raccoons.
lions, tigers, bears.
Oh my.
Oh my, they had it all.
That's
a legit zoo.
I really like looking back at it now that when we were texting about this the other day. I was actually talking to Emily and I was like, man, we should have gone to the zoo like a couple of months ago to like scope it out to see, hey, is this something we would want to even bring the kids to? Like, because I don't want to just do it on the fly and then it ends up being a shitty time and whatever. But like now I have 3 people that are like, hey, yeah, no, it's worth it.
I mean, early on, like with young kids, like they're not really that interested, but it's cool to walk around.
Yeah.
And
I think it's good training wheels to get ready for like a Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Once
it's
everybody's
good practice for Disney.
Once everybody's kids are popped out, we should do a little baby field trip.
Hey?
Okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe film a pod at the zoo.
Ooh, do
That'd
it
be fun.
on the go pod.
On
That'd
the
be
go
cool.
pod.
Walking
Walking
the
at the zoo.
Go
Oh my
pod.
god, we would be so.
You want to talk about breathing
Talking
into the
about breathing
microphone?
into the mic, dude.
Jesus, it's so fucking hot out. Jesus,
God, we really we all need to hit PE before we do.
Come on, elephant, do something. It's so hot.
PE's been whipping my ass lately. I almost threw up the last time I went there. It was an intense workout.
Have you started PE?
No, I'm the only one.
Have you done it?
No, I haven't.
Anyways, Trey, you got anything or?
What? Yeah. So right now, this is the first time that I've been home without the kid.
You loving it?
Megan is. She went to a work conference with her parents and brought Ivy with her. Very, very weird.
Yeah.
It's very it's not weird that she took Ivy. It's weird that I'm here by myself.
That is kind of weird. That
No,
she
it is.
took him.
Yeah, it's
Why?
weird.
Your
She's
kid
going
too.
She's going for a work
you guys have
conference.
Did you guys flip a coin of who had to take Ivy or who wanted to take Ivy?
No,
more?
she wanted to, and her parents were gonna come, and like her family's gonna meet her there, and they're in Kentucky, and they're gonna do like this. They're at it's like a convention for whatever her work.
She fly with him?
Yeah, she flew, and her mother went with her, and her dad, and met him there.
Was
Let's
the
be- let's-
flight
and her brother, too.
Was the flight as traumatic as? The international flight?
Two 1 hour flights, and from what I heard from her secondhand was he lost his mind when they were sitting there waiting to get off the plane. Like
Kid got his patience from his daddy.
Yeah,
Get me off of this.
I'm the guy that like has to stand up because like those seats are so terrible.
I hate those
Yeah,
people.
you're the worst.
Like that's like the second worst person on the plane.
Yeah.
Other than the person that claps after you land.
No, the worst. No. There's only one. There's
Don't clap.
The worst person on a plane is the one that just farts the whole flight because they know that you can't. Because they know that you can't hear them because it's a really loud plane.
Also,
and then you're looking around, you're like, which one of you nasty mother is farting? Everybody can
also
smell
you.
it.
That's also you.
No, that's not me, dude. That's not me.
Yeah, he's just ripping them, and then who did it?
Yeah.
That's not me. I'm the guy that farts in a movie theater and then crop dusts the row as I get out. That's me.
Classic.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a
move.
good one.
That's a good move. But no, I'm here by myself. It's really weird and like I don't know. It's way different. Like when you're on a bachelor party and you go away and you're like she's here with him and I'm away. It's different because it's like you're doing stuff. But I'm just like here doing my normal routine and like working and then coming home and like should be bedtime right now. It just feels very, very weird. Like I feel very out of my element having not doing the same routine that I've been doing while I'm at home. If I'm out, it's okay because it's a whole new routine and just sleeping in a different bed, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's very weird to not have them around. Yeah.
How long are they gone for?
Till it's like 4 days total.
So it's like just enough time for you to like make this like single life your new routine for when they come back, and bedtime's gonna be like, oh man.
Well, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I got a great night's sleep last night, but it's still weird. Yeah, still weird. How about you?
Jaime, you got anything?
What do you got?
Not a whole lot. Just getting everything ready for the gender reveal party at the end of the month, figuring out what it's gonna be, and
Is there going to be a Zoom link for that?
well, yeah, we're gonna.
You should put it up on the pod. Let some of the daddies join in.
That would be
We'll probably
amazing.
we'll probably post a
Amazing.
little Instagram pic for those.
Why don't we do a live stream episode?
I won't be there.
I won't be there either.
We'll put
That's why I asked for the Zoom link.
We'll
I'm
put a
actually
video
upset.
up.
I'm actually upset that I won't be there because I know it's at Tiffany's parents' house, and I still haven't been to their new house.
That house is way
and I've
cool.
heard it's sick.
It's way cool.
It's gonna be fun.
It's way cool.
I know. I'm like considering not going to see my in-laws.
Her neighbor is actually Billy Horschel.
What's we'll talk about it off the air, but they ain't done nothing with this house across the street. Man. I'm sorry for getting
Well, it's Elon
sidetracked.
Musk too.
Anyways, what do you say? What you guys want to get into the core?
Let's get to the core.
All right. Well, we got a very good one for you here today. So without further ado,
Put your hands up, because it's time to talk Daycare.
yeah,
That's awesome. I love that. I love
It's
everything about that.
daycare talk.
That was so good, dude. Run it back.
Run it back. One more time. Put your hands up, because it's time to talk Daycare.
And I haven't fist pumped in a minute.
Daddy likes.
Nice.
All right. So let's get into it for all the guys that already have kids. Let's start off with I haven't even started looking yet. Luckily, me and Tiff have a very nice old Catholic lady neighbor who has already agreed to do some watching for the first once we all go back to work. But
No, that was just Robo in his blanket from the hospital.
That was Mrs. Doubtfire.
that was
A little high on the hot mic. There.
hot mic. Yeah, so we've got a little bit of a grace period to figure it out. But what was y'all's experience with getting it set up? When to get going after it?
Yeah, insane wait list. I mean, like everywhere we go. Like
Insane.
we're still on a wait list for the daycare that's closest to us, and we called them like within the last month, and they were like, "So your son was born in July?" And we're like, "He's born in November of last year." Like, oh yeah, you're like 30th on the list. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening?
Like you're lower on the
Like
list now
like,
than
it's
you
like
were.
moving the wrong. And they're like, yeah, it's just siblings and employees. That's it. And then you. And we're like,
Yeah.
it's 30,
So
still 30. I don't
all
understand.
these
My
people
kids
just
in
jump you?
kindergarten.
It was so weird. Yeah, so
So like once you're in,
some
a
places,
sibling can jump you of somebody who's already in there.
a legacy. Yeah, some places that's how they do it because it's like
Oh, so
A
you really just got to
legacy.
get in there.
What is this place? Harvard?
get in there and then just start pumping them out.
Yeah.
It's so weird, man.
You're in for life.
But and that the one that's closest to us doesn't do, like you have to bring your own food. So the one that we're in that's further away, they actually have their own menu, and you can pick and choose what you want for your kid to eat, or they can just feed everything. So that's awesome, not having to pack anything. And then once you're at the year mark, you don't have to pack bottles, and it's literally just, like dress them and take them. So it's something to think about as well, is like what's included, what's not included, how dirty is it, how clean is it. We looked at a couple that were in nice areas, and they looked like, they look like a war zone, medical ward with kids just laying out on the floor. You walk in, they're just everywhere. You're like, oh my God, what is going on?
Did a battle just finish?
There's one literally right around the corner from here, up by that Publix over there. It's in a nice area. It's in Ponte Vedra, like it's in a nice area. You'd think like, oh, this is going to be a nice daycare. Dude, it looks terrible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna name names, but it's rough.
Yeah.
What does it rhyme with?
No, I'm not gonna say. But it's not good. Don't go there. I'll tell you off the air.
Yeah, off the air. Ask us. We'll let you know. No, I think the craziest thing, right? He talked about the wait list. I mean, there were places that I called, like when we were looking at daycare, and it was like I'd call places, and it's like right away they go like, well, our wait list is like 2 years long. And I'm like that doesn't, like, I'm a math teacher. Like, I'm sitting here going like, that math doesn't add up. So you're telling me that if I want to get my 1 month old in your daycare, that I needed to get on the list 2 years ago. So like over a year before my partner is even pregnant.
You were still butt chugging beers at that point.
It's like
here's what
for
happens.
me, it's crazy when you think about it. It's like some people are not together that long before they have children. And
so
it's crazy.
The expectation is not that you would tell them 2 years in advance. The problem is there's very few infant classrooms. And then as soon as you get to the 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, then they go from one class to like 3 classes. So they only accept 10 in the infant level, but they'll accept 40 for the 2 year old. So you end up saying like, all right, once they turn 2, then you're able to get in because there's more spots. But it's wild because I guess they just don't staff them up the same way because a lot of people don't send their kids. But the one that we're at, they'll take them at they're like, yeah, 6 weeks old, let's go. And you're like, oh, not literally, but they'll take them like very, very
That's
early.
terrifying.
They'll take them very early. And you got to get lucky, and you got to find one. You got to find one that's like location is decent, that has the amenities and like some of the curriculum. Like you'll check the curriculum, and I didn't realize that like it actually changes, and like they have different styles for like what they do and teach and all that kind of stuff. So you got to check the curriculum, food versus not food, the timing of when you get to pick them up and take them in. Like for us, it's 6:30 sharp. If you're a minute late, it's like $100 a minute or something crazy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
What?
It's like you can't be late. It's not literally $100. I want to say it's like $10 a minute or something to be if you're late. So you can't be late. So 6:30 is like you got to be there by 6:30. But they open at like 7 a.m. So some people it works, some people it doesn't. But you got to find the time. You got to find the menu. You got to find the curriculum. You got to get on the wait list. There's a lot of stuff.
So they open at like 7 a.m. and 6:30 is like the cutoff. Is it like you can take them whenever you want? Like if you wanted to take them at 1 p.m. till 5, like you could do that?
You can drop them off whenever, and you can pick them up.
I wasn't sure if it was like structured like a school. Like no, they have to be here at this time. We'll watch them for the day, and then you can pick them up at this time, or pick them up early, like whatever. But.
So you're free to come and go whenever, and you can put people on your list of people that are approved, and then everybody gets their own code. It's very locked down, which we liked.
Yeah, that place is Fort Knox.
Yeah,
man.
it's good. Well, that's what you want.
I had some ladies staring at me sideways when I had to take your son in there the one day.
You don't need people picking up kids willy nilly.
I was trying to give him a kid.
Yeah, just take it. Just take it. I'll
take this kid.
Take this kid.
Yeah.
But no, the only thing to consider is that they have times that they'll serve breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, afternoon, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. Is like the eating schedule, because sometimes we'll take them in later than like drop them off at 8 o'clock or 8:30, but that's after breakfast. So if you do, you better make sure that you don't just bring them in on an empty stomach, or it's not good for anybody. You gotta like make sure they eat something. So sometimes you just gotta balance that out. But yeah, looking into what their scheduling is and how that fits in is something to consider, because you might find one that's like got a great location, everything's good, and they're like, yeah, but it's a hard 6 o'clock, and you're like, I can never make 6 o'clock work.
So with daycares, do they do like a prorate if? So like
No.
I'm guessing you pay like a fee for whatever per month. Do they Oh, it's per week?
Weekly,
Oh, so you pay
yeah.
weekly. Oh,
Oh,
geez.
And no
So,
matter
okay.
how long you go, how many days you go, it's just a flat fee.
It's a flat fee. So, like, if he only goes 2 days out of that week, you still pay that flat fee?
You pay the week. You don't get a discount for holidays. You don't get a discount for sick days. If your kid is sick and it looks like pink eye or it looks like the measles,
And they tell him he can't be there.
they'll go, hey, he's got to go.
Yeah.
And then you got to go take him to the doctor. And then the doctor's got to give a doctor's note. And then they're still like, you got to wait 48 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
So when your kid gets sick, which they definitely will, it's sometimes they're out for like 3 days. It's not like hey, I just half a day, they didn't feel good the second half of the day, like it might be in preschool or elementary school or middle school or something. When they get sick, it's like a stretch. Then you got to somebody's got to take off work.
Yeah.
You know?
Holy cow.
So for my work, I'm lucky. They used to have something called care.com, or they would have an agreement with care.com where you could schedule an in-home, like emergency kind of babysitter thing. But for people that work at places, you got to take that into consideration, which is if they say they're sick, they're not going to let them in. So
Yeah, that's the one thing that I'm real worried about, because with me and Tiff, like if we're both working, because I work 5 days a week, she works 12. So if there's a day that we're both working,
She works
once-
12 days a week?
No, 12-hour shifts.
Oh.
So
Wait a minute,
she only works 3 to 4 days a week, basically. But if there's a day where we both have to work, once we're done with FMLA and all that stuff, she's a pharmacist. There's not like a pharmacist waiting that can just take over. You know, I'm in the operating room, so I can't just leave.
Yeah.
So
if they call you and there's a grace period where like it's not like you have to drop everything and go, but it's definitely once you pick them up, the day that you pick them up, you got to figure out what to do the next day. Like you're going to be calling in sick the next day, or calling in and taking a PTO day or something the next day.
So how does it work, like, if they get sick? So, like, in Jaime's situation, how would it work if they're both at work? Is he able to, like, take that phone call and they're like, hey, your kid's sick, you need to come get him, you know, in the next couple of hours or whatever? Is he able to then say, like, if he doesn't have anybody, say he doesn't have anybody on his list, is he able to say, hey, you know, my buddy Robo's coming over, his name's Ryan, is there like a check that they have to go through in order to get on that list?
So every place would be different, but
Okay.
you might have to submit something that says, here's all the information about the person that's going to pick them up.
Yeah.
Because like you got to get people on the list with a code for us in advance. And I don't know what would happen if it was day of. You'd probably have to call and like give them, you know, X, Y, and Z information.
yeah.
Yeah. But every place is different. Like you're less structured, right? So, and that's the other option that people go with is my neighbor or 3 or 4 kids, you know, are kind
In-laws.
of
Yeah, tell us about yours, Abs, because yours is a little bit smaller and different than Trey's.
Yeah, so we decided to go kind of the more of an at-home daycare, right? It's a single person kind of like what you guys are talking about, right? Now she's not our neighbor. She like the location is not super convenient, but we got great reviews from her from friends and stuff, and so we go there, drop her off. It's a lot less structured, like you said, right? So kind of the pros of it are the price is much better, right? I mean, I would say, you know, most daycares that we looked at, like, you know, normal daycares, like school kind of daycares or whatever, were anywhere from $300 to $400 a week. Our daycare runs us about $250, well, exactly $250 a week. And the other thing too was me being a teacher, you know, I don't work in the summer, and so like at a normal daycare, if I went to, you know, any daycare around town and said, hey, I'm a teacher, I don't work in the summer, I would rather watch my kid than you guys watch my kid, they would say, okay, that's fine. Like, you don't have to bring your kid to daycare. And then, right, the next
You
question.
still gotta pay.
The next question is,
Yeah.
okay, well, if I'm not bringing them, do I have to pay? They go, oh, yeah, you got to pay. And if you don't pay, you lose your spot. Someone's going to fill your spot, and you're back on the back end of that 2-year wait list to get back in. So that was kind of the big selling point for us was, you know, I told her, I said, look, I'm a teacher. Most of the time I work in the summer, so she'll probably end up going to daycare anyway. But if I ever decided that, hey, I don't want to work in the summer, I want to keep her at home, she was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, she's really supportive of that.
This is one of the reasons why a lot of couples will just go, hey, whoever makes less, you're staying home. Like a lot. This is the decision point where people start having the conversation and they go, does it make sense for us to do all this craziness, have somebody else watch the kid all day.
For,
you don't
for
even
my
trust,
salary just to pay for daycare.
to
It
make
is
an extra
crazy.
10 or 12 or 15 or 20 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you go like, I'll just eat it and like we'll figure it out. I mean,
It's-
that's a conversation a lot of people have.
It's
Yeah.
crazy that sometimes it is cheaper to quit your job than send your kid to
Daycares
daycare.
sound like they're cutthroat, man.
Well, you know,
it's serious stuff, man.
everybody's
Yeah.
right. Everybody's having kids. Everybody works. Like not
Yeah.
everybody's
but,
quitting
but
their jobs.
also like the good daycares, like you want to send your kid to the best possible
Yeah.
situation. And when you look at 2 daycares, and if you go tour them, like don't just pick one because it's a good location. Go look at multiple, and when you do, you'll start to see like, I don't want my kid going here. I want my kid to go to one of these, and these happen to be twice as expensive. And you're like, that's wild.
Now here's an important question. So if we were to start, looking and get on a wait list and stuff like that, we are going to probably end up at about 6 months when all FMLA is said and done between her and then me going in after she goes back to work. Then a little bit of time with our neighbor, Paula. But let's say we're looking to get through that first like 10 months, basically. Let's say get on the list now, and they call me in, July, and they're like, "Hey, your spot's open," and we're like, "Yeah, well, we kind of want to go like another 2 months before we do this." Will that just wreck your spot, or are they like, when you're ready, this spot's yours?
Yeah, I think they hold like basically you stay at number 1 and they'll call you every time a spot opens up, and you can just like pass it to the next person, but you stay at number 1. And then when you say, no, call us when the next one, they'll call you again and say, hey, it's open. Do you want it? No, pass it on.
See,
Well, you can also say like,
I'm sure that's also a question you probably have to ask them too. It's like,
Yeah.
each
Could be
daycare might
the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
each daycare might be different with that, where some of them might be a little more cutthroat than others. I would
typically what
think.
you'll do is you'll say like, we're looking to get, like, this is the birthday. We're looking to get in anytime after this. And then they'll go, okay, based on that day, the wait list is this. Right. And then usually it's going to work not in your favor. Almost always it's going to be like, okay, you want to be in July? Great. We'll see you in March of the next year. The fuck do I do for 9 months?
So that kind of sounds like probably the reason why there's so many like 2-year wait lists is because there's so many people that have gotten into this idea that you have to start so early that there's probably 15 people sitting at the top of that list that are just like
Don't even have
sitting
kids
around
yet.
sitting around the poker table like check.
Nobody's
And
going
there's-
into this not pregnant.
and there's also like seasonality to when people have babies.
Yeah, there's some of that.
Yeah. So like I actually asked the nurse when we were at the hospital, like, hey, do you guys see like dips and ebbs and flows of when? And she said, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Valentine's Day, New Year's.
Summer break probably.
9 months after the Super Bowl.
9 months.
No,
after.
it was like Valentine's Day, New Year's, and Florida, Georgia in Jacksonville.
Oh,
You're born in
There-
Florida, Georgia?
9 months
So
after.
like so
There
now-
be
10
some-
months after Florida,
there
Georgia.
be some banging at Florida,
Oh, that's
Georgia.
funny. That's funny.
For
Yeah.
those of you that aren't listening from Jacksonville, there be some banging at Florida, Georgia.
Just look up what Florida, Georgia is.
Florida, Georgia, the largest outdoor cocktail,
Outdoor
or used to
cocktail
be the largest outdoor cocktail party.
Yeah.
Now they call it something else.
I don't know.
Lollapalooza.
Something great
I don't
I don't know.
tailgate or something.
The
Yeah.
drunkest,
World-
funnest.
World's largest tailgate.
Yeah,
It's always going to be the
Yeah.
cocktail party to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to the at-home daycares, right? So the price is much better. I think the other thing too is this lady who runs daycare, and she's amazing. Her name is Donna. But like the kids at daycare, like call her Nana, and like she's their grandma. Like so, it's like it's not like dropping them off at school. It's like dropping them off at grandma's house, and so that's an awesome feeling. And the like she keeps bottles. We leave her a couple bottles. She cleans them every day. We give her frozen milk. She has a shelf in her freezer.
Bring the Ziplocs.
Specifically for like our breast milk. Well, Janie's breast milk, not mine. And so she kind of takes care of that every day. So that's really convenient. Like today Janie took Kennedy to daycare and forgot the diaper bag. Completely forgot the diaper bag. So like in a panic, went to Publix, grabbed a case of diapers and took it over there. And Donna was like, "Hey, next time that happens, like I've got extra diapers like for emergency." So like it's like
That's pretty dope.
You bring diapers every day?
in a diaper bag, yeah.
See, so we're different. So you leave milk but bring diapers. We leave diapers but bring milk every day.
Yeah. So, but the other thing too, like, so of course, right? Today, the day that we don't bring diapers, right? We had to go get diapers. Kennedy has a massive blowout. So in her diaper bag is a change of clothes. So it wasn't there. So I go pick up Kennedy today, and Donna was like, yeah, so of course today, like, she had a massive blowout, like all the way up her back, like almost like to her neck. I was like, to her neck? Jesus. But like Donna, like, took Kennedy's clothes, washed them, dried them, like put them back on. Like she like if she's doing laundry, like she'll just do Kennedy's laundry too, which is like, so it's really nice. So it does feel like we are taking her to like grandma's house, not really to school. The downside of that is I don't really know what happens there. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah, there's no curriculum.
So there's not a right. So it's like I don't know. Like I see pictures of Ivy, and he was, they were reading a book, and he was holding the beer stick. I don't know what the hell that thing was. I don't know if it was a magnifying glass so he could see the book better. Like, I don't really know what it was, but they're doing, like, they're sitting around in a
Baby's
circle
first beer
reading.
stick.
They're doing all this stuff, and like and they're doing things that are helping with, like, their hand-eye coordination or their other like skills that you learn at that age. So my fear is some of that's not happening, and so I think where Janie and I are at right now is we're gonna do this for a couple years, but I think once she gets to like maybe like 2 years old, we're gonna kind of try to transition into a more structured, like,
So then
curriculum.
Wouldn't you need to start looking now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people will also find the middle ground, which is like a local church, right? That's kind of like a middle
Yeah, I know
between the
people do
two. At mine, so you have like a cubby, and you can bring diapers and clothes and creams and waxes and whatever. Like, you literally have to get they'll deliver medication, but you have to get it signed off, the dosage, everything's written down paperwork wise. So like literally to put Vaseline on his
Tookus.
Big Jim and the twins,
Little Jim and the twins.
little Jimmy and the twinnies, to get, like, literally have to like register the Vaseline to like put on. It's like you pull off the shelf, you got to register it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that kind of paperwork, but they have an app. They send you pictures every day. They literally log everything in the app. So they say, like, ate breakfast at 7:47, drank bottle at this, had a nap from this to this. Like, you can see the entire
that's
day.
Yeah.
You
So
can see
it also keeps you structured when he gets back home.
so
too.
So we know exactly when he naps every day, and then in the weekends you can keep the routine, and like you can get we get the pictures, and then they have the they did a finger painting today, they did the splash day, they did all this, and there's a specific name for whatever the curriculum that they use, but yeah, there is all of that going on. Whether it's works or not, I have absolutely no idea, but I like seeing a picture every now and then.
Yeah.
That's fun. I don't know if it's worth the extra money or whatever. I like the fact that they give them food, and I like the fact that they let you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Those two things are the best. The security and the extra kind of paperwork and everything that goes on is like, catch-22.
It looks good, but it's a pain in the ass.
It's like a pain in the ass, and like I don't know how much it actually matters, because people can still like walk in, but it is nice to know that
that's a thing for moms. Moms love that
like
shit.
it's nice, but it's, and then
We're
the
not
other
here
thing
for that.
the other thing is, like, the place that we go is very, very clean, and some places I looked at, like, just didn't look clean.
Yeah, and you want it to be clean with your kid crawling all over the floor.
Right, like he's eating everything, because they're going to get sick no matter what.
Yeah.
And it's like for Ivy, it was good because they got sick early on, and it's been better recently. He got another ear infection this week, but like, so he's probably going to get little tubes. Yeah, like, he hasn't been consistently sick the whole entire time. He got sick in that initial burst, which everybody does. Kind of got over it, built the immune system, and now he's been a lot better.
One more thing that I really wanted to get into. So, since you started so early and got into the actual really like structured functional thing, have you seen a lot of changes on the social side for Ivy, as far as being less dependent, being more open to exploring things on his own, that kind of thing? Like, I know it's still super early, but have you noticed any kind of more like independence?
I think that like there are big milestones, like when, like, we went up to Canada, and that was a huge shift in his like behavior and what he literally wasn't crawling on all fours until we went up to Canada, and we were like playing outside in the grass. Like, you put him on the grass, he's like, I don't want to be on the grass. And then he all of a sudden is like because he doesn't want to lay on his stomach, so he like learns how to crawl. And like you snap your fingers and boom, he's doing it. And I think that a lot of that stuff also happens at daycare, where he's able like like as soon as we took him to daycare, he was all of those motor skills of like grabbing toys and like doing things and whatever all started to fall into line. But after that initial kind of blitz of learning how to play with things and kind of interact with other little baby humans, I haven't seen a ton of change. I think that my personal opinion is like he's going to learn this stuff one way or another. Like he's not walking yet. Some people are walking at 6 months. He's almost 11. He's still not walking. At some point, there's going to be a big event and he's going to learn how to walk, and then it's like he'll walk. So it's like I'm not too worried about the hand-eye coordination of a kid at 1 year old or something.
Yeah,
it's not.
That was one of the things that Emily and I had talked about, because I think for almost the first year, we're probably not going to send twins to daycare just partially because of the monetary value of what it's going to cost us for two of them.
Yeah.
So her parents actually bought a house 10 doors down from me, and they're redoing it right now, and it'll be done right around the time when Emily has to go back to work. So her mom's going to kind of, from what I understand, hopefully this is still the case. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was told.
You said you were going to do it. Now you have to.
Yeah, now it's out there. Now it's out there in the daddy sphere.
That's right.
But her mom is going to kind of watch her, and her dad's also maybe going to help. I don't know. He's like terrified of little things.
Nice.
But
So that's why he hates you.
yeah, maybe.
Nice.
Maybe. But they're
For
gonna
the
watch.
listeners, that's a short joke.
They're gonna watch the kids for the first probably like year or so. But I told Emily, like, I do want to send them some type of daycare where like they have interaction with other kids and stuff like that, because I want them to. The main part is build an immune system. Like they need to get sick when they're young, right? Like, isn't that part of? That's part of it, is like building the immune system, letting them get sick, letting their body fight off all the germs and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talk about the growth and the milestones and the things like that. I think that, at least for me, the way I look at it is like, just getting your kid around other kids is like, that's really important. Like for that first year, whether it's at your neighbor's house, whether it's at Donna's house, whether it's at a daycare. Right, whatever it is, just getting your kid to interact with other kids, catch those germs, right? Build up an immune system, stuff like that's important, right? I think where the structure and the reason why we kind of decided 2 is when we're gonna think is, and now I don't know, but I'm assuming, I guess, 2 years old around that time is when like real talking starts to happen, and I think that's where, and that's just a guess. I don't know if anybody wants to Google that. I really have no idea, but. Like in my mind, that's when I want my son to talk.
That's when it's like an actual interaction.
Well, like if my kid's not talking at 2 years old, then I'm going to start looking for intervention and stuff.
My son is almost my son is like almost saying words. He's close.
Really?
He's almost like when he sees the dog, he's like bitchy. Like he's like not like exactly that clear,
really?
But he's like making the sounds that is like like he's making a different sound than when he goes dad or mom, and he's given a dad and a mom. He's got dad, mom, and pitchy. Those are the 3 words he's got.
Interesting. Well, maybe I need to start looking at daycare earlier. But I think that's where, right, when we talk about...
Slide that in there.
Mike is an idiot. Oh, Jesus.
That's like curriculum-wise, I think like the talking and the communication and stuff like that, right? That's where like...
Right, and just to remind
that
everybody,
structure comes
we
in.
don't know anything at all.
This is all guess,
We're
right?
just making it up as we
I didn't
go.
read anything about this. I just started talking.
Yeah,
so.
this is
It's not like they make a book.
So if I'm right, they don't. If they do, I ain't gonna read it.
Right.
So if I'm completely wrong, like leave a comment, like let me know
Like,
that I'm an
subscribe.
idiot. That
Smash that like
like,
button.
subscribe,
Smash that
send us an
subscribe.
email. Okay. If you know any good daycare, send us an email. I'll be
Yeah.
more than happy to check it out.
This is just 2 idiots giving 2 other idiots advice.
3 idiots and a fat guy.
Which one's which?
That's for the viewer to
Dibs on
decide.
idiot. Dibs on idiot.
All right, so as
Leave a comment.
So as a recap for the bad dad advice of the day, we're saying get on it early,
Yeah.
get on that wait list, do some touring, make sure it's not a war zone at that place, and then just figure out what matters the most to you. If you're looking for a more financially easy position. You can go with a friend, a neighbor, a single person, or you can go for the more structured if you're gonna make that sacrifice. But
or stay-at-home parent.
Or stay-at-home parent. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and
So
know
what a
that
mess of
daycares are
money.
cutthroat.
Yeah.
Before I became a dad, I always wanted to be a stay-at-home husband. Not stay-at-home dad, just a stay-at-home husband. But I didn't have the physique for that. You can't be
Fair.
you can't be fat. You can't be fat and be a stay-at-home husband. No trophy husband looking like me. I promise you that.
You don't want to be a stay-at-home husband. You just want to not work.
Right, and be married.
I know, but like,
And make money.
Right. I want to not work and I want to be married. That's a stay-at-home husband.
I know, but do you want to like do the dishes and cook dinner?
Oh no! We need a lot of money. I'll hire somebody to do all that.
Right. You don't want to do
Love
like you literally
Notice that I didn't say no. That's my wife's job. That's all.
He just wants to hit the Powerball.
your
Points.
dream,
I told Janie that I was going to stop like bashing her
so like
so much
so your dream is to
but
like
she doesn't watch.
on this episode.
Have a sugar mama. His dream is to have a sugar
your
mama.
dream is to just sit at home,
but still be married to Janie
Like
and
you're-
also have a sugar.
like
mama.
your dream is to like sit at home all day, and then like your wife gets home and you go like, I'm gonna go hang out with the boys. Is that like your dream?
No. I'll hang out with the boys while she's at work.
Yeah, from the
I'm
cliff,
not
All the boys are working.
I'm not an asshole.
from
the boys
the
are working.
from the cliffhanger from last episode. Abs's wishes 1 through 3 are to have a sugar mama.
No, I don't.
Wait,
think
we
so.
have a cliffhanger. I don't even remember.
Yeah, remember the
Yeah, we
three
were talking about
wishes?
Aladdin,
What
the
would your
three
three
wishes.
wishes
Did we say that we were gonna? What did we,
We
say?
did. We said
Do we have time?
cliffhanger.
Do we have time
Let's-
to do it? Or should we do it for the next?
We should do it
episode?
on the next episode.
All right, we'll do it on the next. We do it on the next
We'll do it.
episode.
We
do
brought
it.
it up. We didn't forget.
Anybody that watched this whole fucking episode waiting for the three wishes,
Tune in next week. You'll see it. You said on
Double
episode
cliffhanger.
11 that you were going to do wishes, and it's episode 12, and you're not doing them.
Well, we got
All I want to know is what you guys wish.
I hope there's one person out there that really wants to know.
double cliffhanger. But yeah, so this was a bit more of like a serious one with actually some things to be learned. So next week we're going to be getting into another fun one. So you guys will have to wait out for that one. But that's it for this week. Like, subscribe, find other things. L's for abs in the chat. And that's pretty much it. Y'all have a good one. Hope you enjoyed.